welcome to day 20 of the 100-day project. Today I am going to feature Stan Rogers' Northwest Passage. I think it's in the top 5 of my all-time favorite songs. So if you don't know what the Northwest Passage is, it is a sea route through Canada's high Arctic. You go up along Baffin Island, and then you kind of weave your way through the islands and archipelagos, whatever you call them, to get to the Pacific Ocean. The whole goal, back in the day, back in the explorer times, was to find a quick route, a quick sea route, from Europe to Asia, where all the good stuff was, the spices, the cloths, the precious jewels and stuff. If you owned and controlled that route through the Arctic, through the sea, you would be like an emperor among the world. There's no one who could match you as far as monetary income. Before that, you had to take what was called the Silk Road over to Asia, which was long, expensive, because every time you went through a country or a territory, you were charged like a fee, a tariff, a fare, a toll, what have you. Not only did you have to pay all of this, you had to pay a standing army to pretty much march along with you, because there were bandits, and they wanted to steal your things. And it took a long time, like months and months, to get over to the Orient to get all these things. And then you had to take months and months to go back. So a sea route to the Orient, to Asia, was quick in comparison. It would still take you 3 or 4 months to get there. But it would save you a whole lot of time and heartache. In theory. No explorer actually ever found the Northwest Passage, and it wasn't until the 60s that the Northwest Passage was really able to be traversed, and even then they went from the west or east to west. Other way around. They started west and went east. Yes, that's it. So even today, it's not a very commercially viable way of transport because the season is so short. Although with climate change and that kind of thing, the season is getting longer. So who knows what will happen in the future. But anyways, there's your little brief history lesson. But why this poem? So I mentioned yesterday that I went to Inuvik in the Northwest Territories. It's in the Arctic. It's north. And ever since I went there, it's just been I felt it's been calling me back. I don't know what it is about the North. Maybe it's the people, maybe it's the land, maybe it's the history. It's such a rich history up there. And this song speaks to that, this Northwest Passage by Stan Rogers. And there's, I don't know, the last 3 lines says, "To seek a Northwest Passage at the call of many men, to find there but the road back home again." So I think for me, I like to adventure and I like going out, but there's always this pull, this calling me home again. And maybe up there is home, so there's I don't know, it's just traveling between homes. So anyways, I'm going to sing for you the Northwest Passage, song by Stan Rogers, and don't judge my singing abilities too much. Yeah, I will leave a link in the description, and you can listen to the true master sing his own song. But for now, here is the Northwest Passage by Stan Rogers. For just one time, I would take the Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea. Tracing one warm line through a land so wide and savage, and make the Northwest Passage to the sea. Westward from the Davis Strait, 'tis there 'twas said to lie, the sea route to the Orient, for which so many died, seeking gold and glory, leaving weathered broken bones, and a long forgotten lonely cairn of stones. For just one time I would take the Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wide and savage, and make a Northwest Passage to the sea. 3 centuries thereafter I take passage overland, in the footsteps of brave Kelso, where his sea of flowers began, watching cities rise before me, then behind me sink again, this tardiest explorer driving hard across the plain. For just one time I would take a Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wide and savage, and take a Northwest Passage to the sea. And through the night behind the wheel, the mileage clicking west, I think upon Mackenzie, David Thompson, and the rest, who cracked the mountain ramparts and did show a path for me, and raced the roaring Fraser to the sea. For just one time I would take a Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wild and savage, and take a Northwest Passage to the sea. How then am I so different from the first men through this way? Like them I left settled life, I threw it all away, to seek a Northwest Passage at the call of many men, to find there but the road back home again. For just one time I would take a Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wild and savage, and make a Northwest Passage to the sea. Okay, there we go. I hope that wasn't too awful for you. And yeah, thanks for joining me on day 20 of the 100-Day Project, and we'll see you tomorrow for a brand new poem about something. Who knows what will be unleashed from the mind of me. Anyways, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye!